Yes, it is another episode of From Lala to Utah, and we're very happy to have you with us. I'm Chris. I'm from Lala, where I grew up in the Val, which is the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles.
And I'm Dar. I grew up in St. George, Utah, and Chris and I met online in 2018, and we've been married since October of 2021.
So, another episode. Here we are.
Yeah.
Gosh, was this episode 5?
6.
6?
Yeah.
I lose count.
So episode 5, we did the road trip, and we saw the San Fernando Valley, and you took us on a tour of your neighborhood, and you had a special treat for me, which was really fun, the Karate Kid house. It was really fun. Just because I had such a crush on him growing up. But I found my Valley boy.
Oh,
I'm happy with this one.
All right.
I'll choose Chris over Daniel any day.
So watch our previous episode. And watch your Karate Kid if you want to learn karate. Moves like stand on the floor, wax on, wax off.
Paint the fence.
Paint the fence.
Breathe. Always look eye.
Always look eye.
That's right.
Always look eye.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
And now that you have his retina.
Yeah. Now you have my retina. Feel free to break into Fort Knox.
But we wanted to segue because it's July 4th.
Yeah.
And
well,
in the weekend.
Well, here's the thing.
We're recording on Friday, so you probably have already been through July 4th.
You're in the future.
Yeah.
We're in the past.
Yeah.
We're in the past. and 4th of July hasn't happened for us yet. We're also going to talk about the World Cup and the American team's triumphs and what England is up against. For you, 1, 4th of July has already happened, and 2, America and England and some of the other teams might already be out. So this was kind of our thoughts going in. And still, I think coming off this weekend, and we can be completely wrong on this. It just feels like remembering, we're old enough to have been alive in 1976 to remember the bicentennial, the 200th anniversary.
Yep.
And it was a massive thing.
So patriotic, flags everywhere, people celebrating, a general vibe of just happiness and independence. And I could be totally wrong. I don't feel that right now. I don't feel that pride in my country.
It just feels so subdued.
Yeah. Now I'll take that back. We'll talk more about the people in the country. We'll talk more about that, especially in how that relates to the World Cup. But our government, our leadership, it's kind of hard to feel joy under our current situation.
Yeah, so and hopefully it was a safe and happy 4th for you. But as I said, it's just like going in, this felt like this was, going to be a Y2K level celebration.
Yeah, exactly. Over the top.
Over the top.
250
huge.
years.
And we'd all be excited and out there. And it's just not that. And I think there are reasons for that. In some ways, I think people can argue it's been turned into.
Well, and I feel like, as a reporter, you try to be very unbiased. You try to be very equal time, support each side. But I know you have an opinion. I know you do.
Sure. And I always like to say, my job is not to tell people what to think, but what to think about. It's a mantra. I didn't come up with this, but it's something I live by. But sometimes you do have to get something off your chest. I always say, journalists are human beings. So... we see what's around us, and sometimes it affects us.
I feel like you've been carrying something on your heart that you just kind of need to share your thoughts.
Well, I mean, this is, as he used to say, as Cronkite would say, Eric Sedvaride. Okay, really doing myself now. This was going to be mainly an editorial comment, but like I said, it just feels so subdued. It's almost like we were told at the start of the school year, our 80s kid selves, guess what? Duran's playing prom.
Or OMD or NXS.
Or OMD or NXS or U2.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even Chicago.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And instead, it's a guy named Dan. It's not Chicago. It's a group called Aurora, Illinois or something. It's like
a bait and switch.
Or it's a disappointment.
Yeah, of course, disappointing. Yeah.
So I just want to get this off my chest about this and why I think a lot of people have been turned off from all this when they want to be excited. To me, the big reason or one of the biggest reasons, not to get political, but it's been turned into what should have been a celebration of all of us into a celebration of one person. into a celebration of only some of us rather than all of us.
Yeah.
So instead of celebrating the ideals that separate us from the rest of the world, we're celebrating symbols. We're celebrating one man or one point of view, one culture, and the rest of you aren't a part of this. But that's not what America has been for most of its 250 years. This was supposed to be the biggest 4th of July we've ever had because we actually had something worth celebrating. But somewhere along the line, I think a lot of us have forgotten what it was that we were celebrating. Now I just see people talking about flags, colonial costumes, a Lee Greenwood song. But all that's just a facade. They're just symbols. They're not the blood, guts, and heart that built this young nation. And it is a young nation. Let's not forget that. 250 years in the scheme of the world is not a long time. You know, I remember, and I've talked to you about this before, I remember taking the Universal Studios tour and realizing that those towering buildings and home you see on the screen are just backdrops. The Leave It to Beaver house, you go around the back, it's just the front. There's no house. The Psycho house, you go around the back, there's no house. I remember they had a Battlestar Galactica ship, and like it was the front of the ship, and if you turned your back after the tram moved, it's like, there's nothing behind me. What? There's no ship. That's a facade with nothing, with no heart, no guts. So to me, celebrating America's symbols and cults of personality is like celebrating the opening credits of a movie and not watching the rest of it. It's a book with a beautiful cover and empty pages. It's leaving a 5-star review on Yelp about a pizza that's just dry crust with no sauce, no cheese, no toppings. You know, is that what we're celebrating? It just feels like this weekend celebrations were hijacked by those who want us divided. People who dehumanize their neighbors, foreign and domestic. People who embrace selfishness over community. But those attitudes didn't build the American century. The American century that we talk about, the greatest generation, the 20th century, where the United States led the world. But the world never looked to us because of the design of our flag or the melody of our anthem. They looked to us because of a slogan we have on our money, a slogan we have on our buildings, E pluribus unum, which translates from Latin means out of many, one. We all know Benjamin Franklin's famous Join or Die cartoon, the timber rattlesnake chopped into little pieces. But the people using it today as a symbol of my view is better than yours have lost the plot. The actual meaning of the image, is simple. If we don't unite, we die. We aren't France, started by the French. We aren't China, started by the Chinese. We weren't founded by Americans. We were built by Irishmen, Britons, Spaniards, Latinos, Asians, Africans, and indigenous natives that we mistreated for a long time, clearly. But they still helped build we all still worked toward creating a more perfect union. So let me ask you, people on both sides of the political spectrum, have you actually felt like you could breathe in the last decade? You know the slogan. It's not a slogan. It's in our founding documents. We were yearning to breathe free. Have you been able to breathe free? Are you okay living in a land of symbols, selfishness, and internet trolls? Aren't you tired of the division and the anger? So I wish we were celebrating the other kind of American spirit, the spirit of love, of watching for your neighbor, of helping your neighbor, of not dehumanizing others, of giving people grace, of not judging people by what they look like, where they came from, but just who they were, and finding compromise. Why has compromise become such a bad word? I wish we were celebrating that. I wish we were celebrating a place where we can truly breathe free. That's something we're celebrating. We'll be back.
Welcome back. I wanted to thank you for saying what you did. I know that's been kind of weighing on you for a while. And luckily, I feel like we are seeing glimmers, especially in the World Cup, with how kind Americans really are. Like, it's all over my feed. It's all over Facebook, just saying America's amazing. And we thought America was loud and brash and rude. And we're like, no, people are like paying for our meals and giving us rides and not making us pay on buses or just being happy for us and patting us on the back. And and then the Tartan Army kind of hijacked my feed, but I loved that because it was all about joy. It really was.
And I think the big thing is that America is celebrating right now. It's celebrating the joy that the World Cup is about. We are World Cup crazy right now. Yes, I'm not just talking me because I was a soccer fan.
In our house, we are.
But I mean, I think everyone is.
I think so.
And not even, it's not just the fact the U.S. is doing well and they've been amazing.
Yeah.
It's the fact that people, I think, a majority of people, maybe a silent majority, prefer joy and happiness over divisiveness.
Yeah. It's like we forgot that we can have joy, that we can have fun, because we've been under such a gloomy cloud for so long. But I do want to share a quote that my cousin had on her Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
I wrote it down so I could read it.
Yeah.
Somebody said the World Cup is just the U.S. having a giant sleepover with cousins we never see because our parents hate each other. Doesn't that sound about right?
Exactly right.
Because it's like when we actually are face to face we have a great time. And we treat each other well. And like when we went to your nephew's graduation, and I'm not going to say his name just because he deserves privacy. The people in front of us, we were getting to know them. And, we're like, oh, who's your graduate? No, here's our graduate. And we were cheering for each other. And that's what we do. We help each other. I like to focus on the fact that we really do like to show kindness. We do at a personal level.
That's the real America.
Yes, I think so.
I think, and you keep hearing people who come from other countries say, I didn't know Americans were like this.
Yeah.
Because once again, it's about the facade. What we present to the world is
cowboy mentality.
Cowboy mentality.
You're with us or against us.
You're with us or against us.
Yeah.
We're going to drive our ATVs onto your front lawn, whether you like it or not.
Loud music.
Rash. That's not us. I mean, that's
a part of us.
Oh, it's a part of us. I guess it's not us at all.
No.
But the thing that, like I said, made us leaders in the world, the thing that made us, lack of a better term, great, was our joy, our unity, our ability to show that, Europe was all these different nations, yet the United States were all these different states and still were one nation.
Yes. Our diversity. I mean,
yes.
And really, it's like, I've heard a lot of people, as the World Cup is going, say, you guys, you can't just lump America into this one lump sum. It's like each state has its own identity, its own cultures, its own foods. And it's true. I really enjoyed seeing America through other people's eyes who are here for the first time.
Yeah.
So I just want to get back to the fundamentals of treating people well. I remember as a teacher, I taught for 12 years in the public school system, and I didn't care who was legal, who was not legal. I didn't care who was rich, who was poor, who was religious, who was gay, straight. I didn't care about any of that. What I cared about is how we treated each other and what we could accomplish together, and also how we could cheer each other on individually, right? Because we all have certain gifts. We should feel free to be ourselves, our authentic selves, and be able to make decisions for ourselves, for our family, without being judged, without being put down. That was my goal for my classroom, and it's my goal for my country, is just treat people well, show some grace, be kind, let people live their life, and you live your life, and hopefully we can coexist peacefully.
More perfect union, e pluribus unum. Why is it so hard?
I don't know.
There's a Elvis Costello song I still love. Hey, Elvis Costello, awesome.
Yeah.
What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding?
Yeah, totally. I totally agree.
No, we're not always going to agree, but I tell you,
I think
this world, I mean, not just as a nation, this world is a lot better when people can say, you know what? No, I'm not going to get everything I want. You're not going to get everything you want. But we agree on this. Let's get at least that.
I think you hit on something, and that's kind of what I wanted to say, is that we all want what's best for our family. We want clean water. We want good food. We want shelter. We want safety. How we go about that, sometimes we disagree on how that looks.
Sure.
But we should all be able to decide for our family what that looks like without hurting anyone else, right? At least don't make somebody's life worse, right?
Exactly.
So that's where I'm coming from.
I appreciate you getting your point across.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And it's funny. So get to the actual soccer of the World Cup.
Yes, please. Geek
Now,
out.
once again,
yes.
You're in the future.
Yes.
Everything's already happened. You're either sitting there going, wow, that was an amazing victory by the United States. I cannot believe England actually won in Mexico. In Azteca. Wow. But, we're in the past, so we don't know.
So as it stands now,
right.
What are your thoughts?
So here's the thing. First of all, you always like to say you're not a sports fan per se, you're a fan that I like sports.
Right.
But you definitely know soccer a lot more because of Ted Lasso.
A lot more. I wouldn't say I love it. I'm not I don't know that I would turn it on and watch it alone. But I like watching you have fun and watch it with my nephews, with my family. I just love the excitement. And so I have gained an appreciation.
So basically for Dar, football, Chris discretion advised. So I have to talk about, first of all, the American team has shown so much heart. Going in, they had some faults. They had some problems, especially getting the ball up forward to their forwards so they can score. Because I always knew these forwards, Pulisic and this team, if you can get forward, can score. I was worried they weren't going to be able to. They are. But the thing is, I support two teams, the United States and my dad's native Britain in the case of England. Scotland didn't get past the main round, and my favorite team, Wales, this is a Wrexham kit, didn't get to the World Cup at all.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but that said, the U.S. has a much better road to get potentially the semis, to me, at least until Monday. Hopefully they've won and you're all celebrating the victory over Belgium. Then England. Here's what England has to do. In sports, we talk about, even those who don't follow sports.
Miracle on Ice, right?
Miracle on Ice.
Yeah.
The Dodgers in '88 being the heavy favorite Oakland A's and Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire. People remember these things. They remember the major things in upsets in sports. Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. What England has to do is do not one miracle, not two miracles, but three.
Yeah. Are they up for it?
Here's the problem. Now, the game you may have already seen. I said, I'm going to be talking, and it's already over. England's on a flight right now, heading back and drinking some of my favorite PG tips. It's a team. But they start off by playing Mexico in Estadio Azteca, where in competitive games, Mexico is something like 86-2. That's 86 wins. They've lost twice.
And it's at high altitude, too, isn't
and it's
it?
high altitude,
Yeah,
which England doesn't play in.
And their home team, their home grounds.
And
yeah.
They're the host nation.
Yeah.
The fans are going crazy with support. That's daunting. Okay, let's say, and you're in the future, I don't. Let's say England gets past that game. Miracle. That it's not. It should not be understated how massive that win would be.
Yeah.
But guess what they probably play next? Brazil. Or Norway, which is also a pretty good team. But one of those two teams, but probably Brazil, and Brazil is Brazil. It's like if I say baseball, Yankees, or Dodgers. I like to say Dodgers, but Yankees have the most championships. If I say basketball, Celtics or Lakers, or the Chicago Bulls of the 90s. If I say international football, Brazil. Okay, let's say they get past that game.
Miracle number 2.
That's miracle number 2.
Yeah.
Guess who they have to play in the semis, more than likely? Argentina and Messi.
Yeah.
So it's like, Not one, not two, but 3 miracles.
And may the force be with them.
And may the force be with them.
We hope that.
I'm very much an England supporter, so I certainly hope, Harry Kane has been unbelievable.
Amazing.
But they also have to show a lot more too, or they already have. I don't know. You're in the future. I'm not.
Yep. We get it.
We get it.
Okay.
So in the meantime, we're going to go back to the future shortly. It's going to be like a little break for us, and then we'll be in the future.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back in the future. And welcome back to From La La to Utah. And hey, you made it to the future. So we always like to talk pretty much in every episode about what we've been watching, what we've been seeing in pop culture, because we love pop culture. So a couple things. But before that, it's about using our eyes. And you might notice there's something wrong with this eye.
It looks pretty nasty. Like, try not to look. But I've got something going on with my eye. I think it's an autoimmune thing. But I have salve. I have medication. It's being addressed. Just try not to look. I'm just saying what's out there.
Do not pay attention to the eye on the screen.
These are not the eyes you're looking for.
That's
right. That's right. So anyway, going on
to what we've listened to.
We started listening. I think we started listening to it, honestly, when we were playing Dr. Mario, and then we continued on our road trip. Yeah.
That you saw last week.
It's called Directed by James Burrows. And it's an audiobook that he reads, which I love hearing the author's voice because he's talking about himself and his experiences. But if you know Mary Tyler Moore, Friends, Will and Grace, Cheers, Taxi, any of those, if you appreciate any of those, you can thank James Burrows.
He's the guy to do it. And unfortunately, we lost him 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's almost like an epitaph to listen to his voice still talk to you.
Yeah.
To me, it's what makes people immortal.
Yeah.
You become immortal by what you've left to the world, whether it's your art, your writing. So it's just fascinating because it's almost it's a little bit of the nuts and bolts. It's a little bit of the behind the scenes of your favorite shows. In these late 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, come on, Friends, Cheers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Friends fan. Always have been. I can quote a lot of it. Taxi was never really on my radar because when it was on, I was a lot younger. So now,
and living in Utah.
Yes. And so now I'm kind of appreciating it. There's an episode you showed me where Christopher Lloyd's character,
Reverend Jim.
There we go. He tries to get his driver's license to drive a taxi, and he kind of needs help to pass this test. And so the gang go there, and they're kind of whispering answers to him, helping him pass. And he's like, "What does a yellow light mean?
What does a yellow light mean?"
And then what did they say?
And then Jeff Conway is, slow down.
Yeah.
So Christopher Lloyd comes back. What does a yellow light? And then you hear him, slow down.
And then just go back and forth.
What does? It just goes. And James Burrows talks about in the audiobook, the book, about how
the studio audience
was cracking up like crazy, and he just left it all the cracking up in because it is one of the funniest moments on TV. Look it up on YouTube. He also talked about his own background with Broadway.
His dad was a director on Broadway, and he kind of he learned the trade through his dad. And if you think about it, a sitcom really is a stage play that's filmed, right?
Well, in the case of like Cheers, big Cheers person, I went to 2 tapings.
Yeah.
So it's one in particular I put on for dark.
Yeah, we watched it the other day.
I did a specific laugh that I hope would show up, and it did. You hear ha 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 in the background, and that's me because I want to make sure I stood out a little bit.
Of course
I'm surprised in the post they weren't like this guy.
Yeah.
And it was one episode in particular that I was at that's one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. It's the episode where Sam, his old friend, comes back, and he's a former teammate, and says, "Let's go back and try to make the team again." They go back and try to make the team.
Baseball.
Yeah, that's a sport thing.
Yes, it is.
But
I understand why you loved it, though. It was a fun episode to watch with you. But switching gears a little bit.
Yes.
So we came upon a documentary. We were watching a BBC Channel 4 show, and this commercial came on. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Channel 4.
Channel 4. Sorry. Yeah.
BBC. ITV, they're all part of the bridge.
Okay. Anyway, we saw this ad
Yeah.
about a documentary, and we're like, this looks so cute. And it's called Billy and Molly. And it's about a guy from northern Scotland
Mm-hmm.
that befriends an otter. And
otter.
he names the otter Molly. And it is so adorable.
It's
and
amazing.
it's like, if you love pets, if you love wildlife documentaries, you're going to be sucked into this as well. It's just a really warm, fuzzy,
just a
feel
movie,
good.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, in the cinematography, the visuals are amazing
Yeah.
of northern Scotland on the border,
Yeah.
Shetland, the actual Shetland, on the right where it basically you have the North Sea and then the Arctic.
It's a show you can watch with the whole family
yeah.
and thoroughly enjoy it. So I recommend Billy
Highly
and
recommend
Molly.
that. Billy and Molly.
In America, you can watch it on Disney Plus. In the UK,
it's on Channel 4 or it's on Channel 4
Yeah.
streaming deal.
Yeah.
He also has an Instagram feed. I would probably avoid it until you see the movie because it's after the movie, so it might be spoilers. But his name is Sheltie Bill, SHELTIE _Bill on Instagram. I want to give him a shout out, obviously, because it's just so touching. You're not gonna. It's not a, it's not there to educate you. It's there just to share a story of two people making a connection, of two people being together. I mean, if you like, to me, it also reminded me a lot of March of the Penguins, or My Octopus Teacher, which is not necessarily, especially in the case of My Octopus Teacher, they weren't there to say, this is what an octopus is. This is what an otter is. This is what it's like. It's just taking real life. The recent documentary style of not even having a narrator, just basically letting them talk. And it works.
And tell their own story. Yeah.
So it talks about connection. And speaking of connections, we're going to connect that to one more thing we watched this week.
We went to the movie, and we will review that movie when we come back. Hello.
Hello.
We are watching Toy Story 5.
Toy Story 5.
Getting ready to watch. Delicious, icy, and popcorn, of course. Popcorn. And luxury seats. Got the heater going already. We're going to compete?
I think so.
Okay, it's on.
Okay, but technically I put that on your side, so it's yours.
Rude!
And we've connected to the other segments. And we saw
Toy Story 5.
And
we specifically said, let's not talk about it. Let's save it for the camera.
That's right, which we are.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We didn't even tell I think we both knew we liked it.
Well, we were going to talk about it, and then we're like, let's stop. Let's save it.
We want to save it.
Yeah. So
we're like, Andy's here.
Okay, you have a thing where any kind of sequel has to hit a certain benchmark. What is that benchmark? Explain to the people what
the
is
people in the future. I will explain to
what
to me a sequel has to prove that it's worthy of existing.
Just standing on its own.
Like standing on its own, that there was a reason to make this movie.
Yeah.
And to me, the first two sequels, Toy Story 1 was, of course, groundbreaking and amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was enough that it was groundbreaking. Also was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
2, fantastic, worthy of being made. 3, you did not cry at the end of Toy Story 3? Come on. Very worthy. In fact, I'd argue it was almost 3 was the best. Then came Toy Story 4. Let down. Kind of mad. To me, Toy Story 4 had no reason to exist.
Okay.
So
what do you think about 5?
The question is Toy Story 5 worthy of being existing?
Did it pass the Chris test?
Let's do 1, 2, 3. We'll both say it.
What, thumbs up or what?
Was it worthy?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Worthy.
Yes, worthy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I thought it got its point across, but not in a preachy way at all. And I think kids will enjoy it. Adults will enjoy it. And a lot of the toys that are referenced are from our childhood. And just fun scenes.
And by the way, toys referenced for millennials, toys referenced for Generation X.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think it's a winner for just families of all ages, really.
Yeah. And it's funny that I mentioned about Toy Story. To me, at least my personal headcanon, there's Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. 4 doesn't exist. Go right to 5.
Okay.
To me, this should have been Toy Story 4. It's worthy with the rest of the movies. I still would say, the other 3 are probably better movies, but there are some characters from the 4th movie who return for this one. Keanu Reeves' character returns, folks.
Yeah, and Bo Peep has a bigger role.
Right, but
slightly.
What reminded me a little bit is the first movie in a way, because the first movie was about the older, ancient kind of toy Woody,
like dolls. Blocks.
Suddenly here comes Buzz Lightyear, the modern,
with batteries,
and all that, and they had to learn to live among each other, and ultimately they do, and make connections.
That's exactly. I mean, I felt like they needed to speak on the technology component. It kind of felt like they had a duty. They were duty bound to say something about that, because how many of our kids have tablets? How many of our kids are on their Switch?
How many people are on their screens not paying attention?
Exactly. And this film kind of shows that. Like, you look into a house and look at all the windows that have blue light or people into a screen.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Only half listening, right? So I felt like...
Yes, listening. I was listening, yes.
So I feel like they made that statement purposefully, but how they made it, I thought was very tasteful.
How it was made, it was very tasteful. And ultimately, the whole movie is about connections.
Yeah, it is. How do you make friends? Is it important to play? Is imagination important? Like, how do you make friends?
So to bring us all around to what we were talking about at the start of the show about America 250, it's all about connecting with each other.
Yeah.
And we have, whether it's because of technology, whether it's because of our views, whether it's because of the pandemic, we are so divided right now. We need to connect again.
Yeah, we do.
And the movie makes a good point about that.
And put down the screens and don't let the algorithm hijack
but
your brain.
But ultimately, by the way, without spoiling too much, they have to figure out to live with the screens and the toys in the same world.
The technology is not going away. So how do you do it in a balanced way, really?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so very well made. And so the person who made, the director, writer, Andrew Stanton, he made some things that when it comes to Pixar, he is the mind behind the Finding Nemo movies. And to me, probably top 1, 2, or 3 Pixar movies is WALL-E.
No, I love WALL-E. Yeah.
Such a great movie.
Yeah.
So same quality.
Yeah.
And he also has done a lot of TV that we love. You wouldn't realize.
Well, I mean, when I heard the voice of
Chris Marshall.
Yeah, Chris Marshall. And I'm like, wait, her voice sounds familiar. She's on
For All Mankind.
And
she
then also
plays in Paradise. And she plays Daniel Poole on For All Mankind.
Yeah.
It turns out Andrew Stanton directed a lot of the second season episodes of For All Mankind.
Yeah.
He also directed a lot of the second season episodes for Stranger Things.
Oh, yay. I love it.
We like Stranger Things.
We do. Yes, we do.
We like Stranger Things.
Yes.
And then
but you also have a thing. If a movie only promotes who the celebrities are, you're like, oh, that's an automatic turn off. It didn't do that.
Because to me, it's just like this. When you see an anime, it's usually the bad anime movies. The previous film was like, this has,
because that's the only draw.
Spencer, this guy and this guy and this guy. It's all about these people.
Yeah.
To this day, they've never promoted Toy Story movie by saying Tom Hanks, Tim Allen.
But they're all there. Like if they're alive and they were able to come back, then they reprise their role.
And you don't even see who plays, all the characters. It's such a massive cast now. It's almost like the Avengers with so many famous people.
Yeah.
And they're all back.
So who plays the new little potty console thing?
Oh, so one of the technology toys is basically a potty.
It's like a little reward
like
number
thing,
1, number 2.
Like an early toddler leap pad, basically.
Potty training.
And Conan O'Brien plays the potty machine. And he's
brilliant. Yeah.
And it's funny because that reminded me so much when my oldest was very young.
He's not going to be happy about this story, but yes, that's true.
Maybe, but but he had it wasn't a toy per se. It was more like it was a button you put on the wall.
A feature. Okay.
And so every time when you were potty training, he would go potty, you press this button, and you'd hear the hip hop music, dun 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 dun, and then his big voice would go, "That's potty power," and it made it every time.
It sounds like it's
potty trained because of potty.
It sounds like it was good at its job.
So that's what the Conan O'Brien's potty technology thing is. But it's not too much potty humor, folks. So it's okay.
It's not. No, it's. I thought it hit the right tone. Lots of Easter eggs.
You go through. It's one of those things. You go through who voiced that. You don't pay attention too much because the story's great.
It is.
You don't care who's in it.
And it's not totally predictable either.
It's not.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but the cast. First of all, there is an after credits scene, so stick around.
Yeah, stick around.
But there's you don't see the list of the cast until way into the
until
credits.
after the scene.
Yeah, and there's that scene, and way after that scene. It's just like, so to me, what the brilliance of Pixar and Disney's recent animated efforts is it's not about who's the voice, it's not about the star power, it's about the story.
Yeah.
And that's, when they get it wrong, it's when they forget that.
Yeah,
so, just like we get it wrong, we forget what our country was about.
Hopefully we can remember and make things better and turn it around.
Hopefully you're in a nicer future now where everything is great.
Well, but I want to thank you for spending your time with us too. And so we always want to, if you want to reach out and give us ideas or any feedback, call us. And
we have a phone number.
Yeah.
Don't call me personally. You can call us. I'm gonna give you the number. Ready?
It's a voicemail inbox. You're not gonna actually speak with us, but
I'm not sitting here. Good to hear from you. But number is it's on your screen. 435-990-5824. 435-990-5824. You can email us at
fromlala2utah@gmail.com and share your thoughts about the episode.
We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your views. To me, we need to listen to each other. It doesn't mean we're going to agree, but at least I think we're better ultimately, and we actually are able to find common ground when we do listen.
Well, and I would love to hear how you and your neighbors are trying to buoy each other up, or maybe you ran into people who are in America for the first time, and it's been a great experience. I would want to hear more glimmers. That's what I want to hear.
It's just enjoy.
Yeah.
So for now, we hope you have a great week in the future.
Yeah.
And we hope you take care of yourself.
See you next week.
Take care.